Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. I rarely show my face, but I thought maybe in 2026 I can change things up a bit. So I'm gonna give you a quick tour around my craft room. I'm gonna switch over to voiceover so that you can hear me better because I know the sound quality when I film like this isn't the greatest. So I want to show you some of my favorite things in my craft room, and then each month I plan to build on this video and really go in depth on what I use in my craft room and what works well, what doesn't, how I organize things. So join me and I hope you like this. I wanted to start by giving a quick reminder, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button so that you'll continue to see more content. When you step into my room, this is a quick view of what it looks like from the doorway. You can see I have a front office here, and I use this as dual space. So I also work from home. So the desk you're seeing there on the left, that is my work desk. And then I have my craft desk on the other side of the room. I want to start with this section though, and I want to show you this is where I keep the majority of my Stamps of Life products. I keep everything over here on these bookshelves, and I believe I got these bookshelves at Walmart. I'll tell you more about the boxes and the baskets in just a moment, but all my paper pads for Stamps of Life are over here and my dies. I group everything together by brand. Here's a look down here closer to the floor so you can get a good view of that. So let's go ahead and look at everything close up that's over here. I want to start with these boxes. I get a lot of questions on these. So these are fabric boxes that I picked up at Lowe's. So they're actually in like the closet section, and they're a really good size. I like to store not only all of my stamps and dies in these, but also my completed cards. So I have a couple extra that I have completed cards in, and I store them here for easy access. Here's the brand. It's actually an Allen and Roth brand, and they're called Small Storage Bin. And let's see, it gives the size of 10.69 by 7.13 inches, and it's 5.5 inches tall. So these are really durable, and they're so wonderful for storing stamps, dies, and cards. So let me bring over my dies. Let me show you just here. Here's a few examples of cards. I even keep the envelopes, like if I make the envelopes. Here's one from the Fold It Club. But let's look over here. Now these are my stamps and dies, and I keep them all in here in these clear pockets, and then I also have magnetic sheets. So for my Stamp and Die Hard Club, I have switched over to some kangaroo pockets from the Stamps of Life, but that's the only one that I use those kangaroo pockets for, and the Stamps of Life magnets. The other ones I store in these, and these are actually Avery L large stamp and die storage pockets. I even keep like the little card kit club samples in here. And then the dies are Marietta. So if you see something in this video that you like, I will leave links down below in the description box. But if you have any questions or need links to anything, just leave me a comment and I would be happy to answer those. So let me bring over the pockets. So first, here's the magnetic sheets that I use. I've tried lots and lots of magnetic sheets over the years. I like these. They're fairly inexpensive. You get a lot of them. They're very thick. They're good quality. Only one side is magnetic, even though it looks like both are. And so I ordered these on Amazon, and you get 25 in a pack. And then I keep my regular like club stamps and dies in the smaller pocket of these Avery L. So this one here, it's called the large stamp and die. It's 5.5 by 7 3/8, and there's 50 in this pack. And then the larger one is called the extra large stamp and die storage. It's 6 3/4 by 9 3/8, and you get 50 in each pack. Now Avery L has since like stopped making these, so I've ordered another one on Amazon, and I'll leave those linked down below that I plan to switch over to once I run out of the Avery L. And then I also get these. Now these are from the checkout store, or you can also get them on Amazon, but I store all of my Stamps of Life paper pads in here, or any brand that is 6x6 paper pads. So you can see here, I'll just pull one out. Once I, take apart or start using some of my 6x6 paper pads, you get like pieces that you want to save and put together. And I just find that if I can put it all in a pocket and then put it in a basket, that it just works easier for me. And then I'm not losing things. I also store, here's one of those Card Kit Club postcards in there, and just little, like extra pieces of cardstock or extra little die cut ephemera. These are great. So I love using these for my Stamps of Life paper pads, or like I said, any 6x6 paper pad. You can see here, here's the basket that I store these in, and they fit perfect. I started off measuring here with my ruler, but in just a moment, I'm going to pick up my paper pads so you can see the branding here. These are from Walmart. And, I've tried other things, but I think these were only like maybe $1 or $2. They weren't very expensive. And I do buy several of these when I go, so I always have extra. It's the Mainstays small decorative basket. So just over there with their baskets and stuff at Walmart, that's where you can pick up these. Now the other ones that I showed you from Lowe's, they're pretty expensive. They're more $10 or $12 or something. They're more expensive, but I feel like they give a more decorative look to my craft space. But I like these white. I was switched over to all white baskets, so I have white and gray. And I'm counting here to see how many fit comfortably, and I have 25 in here. So, all right, let me show you a little bit more of my room. So here's the door when you walk in, and I've got my printers on the left there and my Cricut. And then this is actually where I create my videos, create all my content, and film everything. I've got my glass board studio mat there, which I love. You can see my lights. I've got 4 lights, and then I've got my camera mount there. I've got my little die cutting machine on my desk, that Anna Griffith Impress Mini. And then here is where I keep all of my Distress Oxide inks. I recently just purchased this tourney thing to store them in. It stores all, I think there's 72 Distress Oxide inks in the family. So I just recently purchased this on Amazon for Christmas, and I love it so much. I feel so organized. And then all the labels on here, Tim Holtz Ranger just came out with all these labels, so I got these too. And then over here on the right side of my desk, that's where I keep all of my Stamps of Life ink pads. And this container that I store these in, I like it. We'll just pretend my calendar says the right month, but because it doesn't, I love doing that. And then this is where I keep like all my scrapbook.com paper pads and different brands of dies and things over there. And then here's my other die cutting machine, my Big Shot. I've got my sewing machine there on the right. I've got my Epson PictureMate 400. I've got photo props down there. I've got a laminator, a foiling machine. And then over here, this is where I keep some more items. I have all of my shimmers paints over here on this shelf. So I've got like the bottles and then, the little paint jars. The down below, the books, that is like idea books. And then on the left there are like paper pads, paper packs that I'm working on for different companies, design team projects. This is my workspace here. And then over here is my closet. Now I have lots and lots of stuff in my closet, but first I want to show you a little closer look at my ink pad storage here. This is where I keep all my Stamps of Life inks. They fit perfectly. And I also got this on Amazon, so I'll leave it linked too. And I did move this, and so it has a little crack in the side of it, but it doesn't bother me and it still works very well. Now here's my closet. So I didn't clean anything before this video, so I apologize for the mess here. But you can see that's where I store all of my Stamps of Life cardstock there on the right. And then I've got some ink. This is like my little storage where I keep like my magnetic sheets and everything to organize my stamps and dies. And then I've got these fabric bins. I keep paper in them. So this is all Simple Stories collections in here, like past Simple Stories collections. I've got mostly like 49 in Market in this one. They do kind of fall over, but I think it's great to group my brands together like this. And then up on the top shelf, you can see I'm maximizing all this space here. I've got bins of completed cards. I've got some layouts that need to be put away up here. And then down on the bottom, I've got extra printer paper and different specialty papers in that I use. So that is just a quick look at my craft room. I plan to keep up this series. If there's anything that you would like to see how I organize, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think of everything. Thank you so much for joining me in my space today. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you don't follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, I would love for you to follow me there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.